Beginning of 2017, we have been recording all of the wild bird species that we can find in the zoo, because the zoo is not just important for the endangered species that we have in our collection, but also the native wildlife that you can find here breeding and living within the zoo grounds. We started to record all the birds at the beginning of 2017, and there are two major types of birds. We have the birds that you find here all year long that live and breed in the zoo and the UAE, and then we're lucky enough to have a lot of migratory birds that travel between Africa and Asia annually between their summer grounds and their winter grounds. So it's important for us to record which migratory birds are coming through the zoo, because it's a reflection of what's happening in the UAE on a wider scale. We're carrying out regular surveys in the same areas. We follow the same routes, either on foot or in a vehicle if we're doing the safari, and we follow the same route every time, and we record all the species that we see, and we also count them. It's important to study migratory birds because they rely on so many different countries along their migration routes to provide safe areas for feeding and resting. So they face lots of different threats along these routes. So the numbers that we see in the UAE is a reflection of what's happening along those migration routes as well. Over time, we will start to be able to see if there's any patterns, if any species are increasing or decreasing, and whether we need to do any conservation actions to help protect those species. So far we've recorded 81 different species. About a quarter of the UAE's breeding birds we found breeding in the zoo as well. The numbers fluctuate depending on whether the migratory birds are here or not. We've had some key species of the UAE recorded in Ain Zoo. For example, Kentish plover. We had 15 of those in the safari last month, including chicks, which was very nice. We've recorded brown-necked raven, crested honey buzzard. In this area we've had clamorous reed warblers and great reed warblers. So we're getting some really nice, interesting records, and what's really interesting is that none of these birds have been released. This is all wild animals that have found their way to the zoo because of the nice habitats that we're providing here. Next, we're just going to continue with our regular surveys. We want to also start to do some night surveys because, for example, we might have some owl species that we haven't recorded yet. And eventually we would like to start tagging some of the birds that are traveling through the zoo so that we can see where are they coming from and where are they going, and are the same birds returning here every year.